Hello, good morning students. Welcome to this video lecture series for voltage regulators. In the last lecture, what we have seen is a Zener shunt regulator. See, we started with shunt regulators first. Is it? And under shunt regulators, what we studied is Zener shunt regulator. How a single Zener is working as an active element to regulate the output voltage. That's we have studied. We analyzed the Zener shunt regulator circuit and even we designed the Zener shunt regulator. Now I will replace the Zener with another component, that is transistor. So whichever the active element is there in the shunt regulator is the name we have given. If it is a Zener which is active in the circuit, we call it as a Zener shunt regulator. If it is a transistor active, we call it as a transistor shunt regulator. The active element must be in shunt, that is the active element must be in parallel with the load resistor. That's what the concept. Then only it will be a shunt regulator. Otherwise it has to be a series kind of regulator. So let us start with transistor shunt regulator. So let me draw the circuit. See, I said it is transistor shunt regulator, and in that transistor is active element. So as a transistor is active element, it does not mean that there is no other elements. Look at this, there is a Zener, there is a Zener diode also. Even if there is a Zener, but Zener is not an active element. Who is active element or whose participation is more in the circuit? It is a transistor. Is it? Zener is there, Zener will work in regulation action, but the active element is transistor, and that's why it is referred as transistor shunt regulator. Look at this, load resistor is connected and across load resistor I am taking output voltage. This is what output voltage VO across load resistor. This resistor is series resistor, we call it as RS. Intentionally I am using the same notation and names that we have already used. The voltage across the Zener, refer it as VZ. This is input voltage I am referring, Vin. And after that, let me connect one resistor here from the base of the transistor to the ground. Is it? Here it is ground, reference or zero, whatever you say. This resistor, call it as RB. In some books they don't show this RB, but at the time of practical, is it? So practical implementation of the transistor shunt regulator, at that time in our lab we connect a resistor RB there intentionally. Is it? If you check some reference book, some people don't draw this RB, which is not needed actually. Is it? But practically it plays a small role, and that's why I'm drawing this RB. Even if at the time of exam you don't draw this RB, then also it is okay. If you are drawing RB, you are inserting RB into the circuit, then you have to calculate its value. That is mandatory. Right. So if it is a transistor, this is collector, this is emitter, and this is base. The current which is flowing through the base is what? IB compulsory, and this is the current which is flowing through Zener. I will call it as IZ, and somewhere this current which is flowing through RB, I will call it as IRB. So three currents are there in the circuit. So this current is flowing through the collector, I will call it as IC, and this is the current flowing through the load resistor, let me call it as IL. 1, 2, 3, three resistors are there in the circuit, one Zener diode, one transistor. That's what. This is circuit diagram of transistor shunt regulator. Just check it out. Transistor, which is an active element, is in parallel. Look at this, the transistor is in parallel with load resistor RL. So this is what? Mandatory condition. Otherwise, if transistor is in series with the load resistor, we are supposed to call it as a transistor series a regulator. Now it is in shunt, that's why it is transistor shunt regulator. If the Zener is in shunt with the load resistor, it is Zener shunt regulator. That's what. So that's the basic difference between series regulators and shunt regulators. Now this output voltage VO, this has to be stabilized. In case if output voltage, if it is increasing by any reason, by accident, if it is increasing, then what is the job of regulator? The job of regulator is to decrease the output voltage, to drag it and maintain it at the constant level. Yeah. You remember I told you, if this is the output voltage level, which is a desired level of the output voltage, if by accident or by any reason, if output voltage is increasing, the job of regulator is to drag this output voltage and maintain it at the constant level. The second scenario, if output voltage is decreasing by any reason, maybe by short circuit or anything else, by any reason, if output voltage is decreasing from its desired level, then regulator has to boost the output voltage and maintain it at the constant level. That is what job of voltage regulators. Right. Now how this circuit is doing this? Right. How this circuit is maintaining output voltage at a constant level. That's what we will see first. Now see, as I told you that this RB register is generally it is optional, is it? It's needed at the time of practical. So that's why IRB is very small. Why? Because RB is very large. Okay, let me note it down here. This RB is very large. RB is very large, so that's why this IRB is very small. Sometimes it is neglected. But as I'm drawing RB because I want to mount the same circuit into the lab, I will draw RB. I will consider IRB. I will calculate value of RB. Is it? Everything I will do with RB because I have connected it in the circuit. Now observe the circuit. Output voltage. I will write the first equation. Output voltage VO is equals to, this output voltage is nothing but this voltage. Look at this. Let me change the pen. Which color it is? That is okay. Or let me take this color. No, that is okay. See, the output voltage is summation of this voltage plus this voltage. Look at this. So what is this voltage? This is a Zener voltage Vz. And what is this voltage? This voltage, it is a base to the emitter voltage. So that is VBE. So output voltage, I will write it as an Vz plus VBE, base to emitter voltage. I know that if it is a silicon transistor, VBE is always 0.7. If it is germanium, it is 0.3. It is a junction potential of a material. If it is silicon, 0.7. Germanium, 0.3. So VBE for silicon, it is 0.7. Is it? If it is a transistor made up of a silicon material. Okay, before starting with regulation or regulator action instead, let me tell you about transistor. I will cover only basic things about the transistor because we will enter into the world of transistor into next chapter, is it? So next chapter is fully based on the transistor. There I will start a transistor theory from scratch, the construction from where we will start. Right. So for this transistor shunt regulator, what things are needed? Few things are needed related to the transistor. I will explain those things only, those parameters, those terminologies only. Right. One thing that you need to understand is, this is a transistor symbol. It is a NPN type of transistor. Is it? Look at this arrow. This arrow is going outwards, so that's why it is NPN transistor. If the arrow is going in like this, then it is PNP transistor. Then it is PNP transistor. So for if it is PNP or NPN for both the transistor, we have general equation, that is IE is equals to IC plus IB. Now this is IC and this is IE, and this is what base current is. See, it is just a revision for a transistor, revision of a few parameters which are needed for this transistor shunt regulator. I know that you have studied transistor in your first year, even in plus 2 you have studied the transistor, but consider it as a small revision, is it? So this is what a transistor. And for a transistor, if, okay, let me draw another transistor. If I increase the base voltage, then what will happen? Base current will increase. I know that transistor is a current controlled element. So as transistor is a current control element, if I increase base current, then collector current also increases. Right? Lectures all. So this IB, look at this, if IB increases, then IC also increases. That's right. If base current increases, collector current also increases. So base current increases just because of base voltage. Right. So eventually what I can say base voltage, if I increase, then collector current also increases. That's what it is. Right. That's what. VB increases, IC increase. I think that much is sufficient. So that much knowledge is sufficient for you for this transistor shunt regulator, is it? Okay. Sorry for a small interruption. Okay. Welcome again. So this is about a transistor. When a base voltage of a transistor increases, its collector current increases. Why? Because base voltage increases, base current increases. Base current increases, collector current increases. That is the only small thing that we are using to understand this transistor shunt regulator. Okay. Now, look at here. What we will start with? We will start with the basic equation when output voltage is equals to or is a summation of base to emitter voltage plus Zener voltage, is it? So this base to emitter voltage means I am talking about this VB, is it? That is base voltage. Base to emitter. Emitter is connected to the ground. It means it is simply a base voltage. Alright. Now, as I told you, what is the job of this regulator? If output voltage is increasing, drag it. If it is decreasing, boost it and maintain it at the constant level. That's what. Now, see, as I am saying, this output voltage fluctuations should not be there. Let's try to understand the scenario. What will happen if output voltage increases or output voltage decreases? Right. Before that, let me understand the current. How many currents are there? One current is collector current IC. Another current in the circuit is load current IL, and IZ is also there. But as this IZ is very small, which is equals to IB, look at this. If I don't consider this RB, then this current will directly go into the base. That is, Zener current will go directly into the base. That's why IZ, which is equals to IB. And the total current that we forgot to mark here, total current is I, and that I is also there, is it? So from that I can write equation as I is equals to what? This I, which is equals to IZ, which is very small, then IC and IL. Look at this, IC plus IL plus IZ. But as this IZ is very small, then we have to write I is equals to IC plus IL. The active element in the circuit is transistor. That's why I am considering only IC. I have neglected IZ because Zener is not active element, and the Zener current is very small. And that same small Zener current is flowing through the base, and we know that base current is always small. Zener current is small. It is an obvious thing. So I is equals to IC plus IL. Okay. And this I is constant. If I consider that I is constant, Okay, let us understand the procedure by considering I is constant. Now see, if I is constant, what is the relation between IC and IL then? It is directly proportional or inversely proportional? It is obvious that summation is constant, that is I is constant if, or I will write clearly, if I is constant, then IC is inversely proportional to IL. It means IC increases, IL decreases, and vice versa. If IC decreases, IL has to increase. Is it? This is what. Now, I will call this equation as equation number 2. It is not equation as such, just a statement that IC is inversely proportional to IL, and you call this as equation number 1. This is pure equation, Vz plus Vb. Call it as number 2, IC is inversely proportional to IL, whatever. Is it? Now my job is to understand what will happen if output voltage changes. Assume that, or consider that output voltage is decreasing. Anyhow, by any accident, maybe there is a short circuit at the output side. Right? Assume that this output voltage decreases. So if output voltage is decreasing from equation number 1, what is equation number 1? Look at this. This output voltage is decreasing. This output voltage. Now this Vz is constant always, because it's a zener voltage. It has to be constant. So this Vz is constant and output voltage is decreasing. Now what will happen by this equation? If output voltage decreases, then VBE also decrease because Vz is constant. So let me write, if output voltage decreases, then base voltage of a transistor, that is VBE, also decreases. See, if base voltage decreases, what happens? Basic transistor theory says if base voltage of a transistor decreases, base current decreases, and hence collector current decreases. So it means collector current in that case will also decrease. Now look at this, collector current is decreasing and collector current is inversely proportional to the load current. It means if in case collector current is decreasing, the load current, that is IL, has to increase. Now look at this, collector current is increasing, load current is increasing. Now we started with output voltage is decreasing. By accident output voltage decreases. Now what is the job of regulator? If output voltage is decreasing, the regulator has to boost the output voltage and maintain it at the constant level. So if output voltage is decreasing, VB also decreases, then IC also decreases, then load current IL start increasing. And if load current is increasing, look at this, somewhere there is a load resistor, and if the current flowing through this load resistor, if it is increasing, then obviously voltage across this has to increase. So load current increase means load voltage also increases. Look at this. So what happened by accident? If output voltage decreases, this process will take place internally and again output voltage start increasing. Look at this, output voltage decreases by accident, then regulator is trying to boost the output voltage to the certain or desired level. This is how the actual regulation takes place. Vice versa, I can write if output voltage by accident if it is increasing, कुछ होता है ऐसा कि output voltage increase हो रहा है by any reason, then what will happen? Obviously this VBE start increasing. अगर बेस वोल्टेज इंक्रीज हो रहा है तो बेस करंट विल इंक्रीज, बेस करंट विल इंक्रीजेस द कलेक्टर करंट, सो कलेक्टर करंट इंक्रीजेस. Collector current which is inversely proportional to the load current. So collector current if it is increasing, then load current has to decrease. So load current is decreasing means load voltage has to decrease. Look at this. If output voltage is trying to increase by accident or by any reason, then regulator will decrease this, or regulator will drag the output voltage and maintain it at the constant level. So this is how I can understand the operation of transistor shunt regulator. Is it? Now, as this is about the regulation action, now my job is to find out some equations related to VO, related to IL. That's what my job is. So it means now we have to enter into the analysis of transistor shunt regulator, is it? So before starting with transistor shunt regulator analysis, let me tell you another parameter related to the transistors. We have discussed that much part. Another parameter is this beta, which is current gain of a transistor if the transistor is in common emitter configuration. So forget that common emitter configuration and everything. Understand that beta is, if it is in AC form, then it is HFE, which is a ratio of collector current divided by base current. That's what I know. You are already aware with this term beta, but still, as I'm going to use this beta in the next analysis, it's my job to explain what is beta. So beta is what? It is the ratio of collector current to the base current, is it? And we have to draw a transistor equivalent circuit in hybrid model. Now I know that things are new, hybrid model and all. It means I'm using some concepts that we have not learned yet. So that's why we'll just use it. We are not going to understand what is that, because in next chapter I am going to tell you what is that. We're going to understand what is that hybrid model of a transistor, what is equivalent diagram of a transistor. Everything will be there in the next chapter, is it? But for this time, or for this transistor shunt regulator, I have to use some part from this analysis which I have not studied yet, is it? So that's why I'm telling that HFE or beta is IC multiplied by IB. Another thing that I'm going to use is HIE. So when we start with analysis, I will explain what is that HIE in short, not in detail, because in detail study of this hybrid, all hybrid parameters is there in next chapter, is it? So in next chapter, what we will do, we will start with the analysis of the transistor shunt regulator, is it? Okay, thank you very much.